Greetings everybody, peace and love. It's Nazir Rock. Today we're going to talk about the 7 signs of angelic genes, the 7 signs and 7 keys to let you know that you have angelic genes. And then we're going to go into some more advanced information and more details about the different natures of these particular angelic beings. We're going to go into extraterrestrials. We're going to go into the archangels, and that'll be more for the members area. But this particular video, we're going to focus on 7 signs of having angelic genes. Someone may ask, well, Nazir, how can someone have angelic genes? Angels are not even people. Angels don't have genes. Well, it says the sons of God came down in unto the daughters of men in your Bible. That means, and it says that they bore children unto them, which were men of renown, okay, men of great stature. So therefore, angels do have genes, and angels are people and they reproduce on the earth. It says that the fallen angels came down to the earth as well. All right, so angels are extraterrestrials. Angels are human beings from other star systems that come and intermingle with humans, and humans themselves are extraterrestrials. Some of us have a lot of these genes. Some of us are have a leaning towards, because of our genetics, towards the extraterrestrial and the divine side, and some of us are more earthly and more basic Lulu and Milu, which is a primitive worker, which were beings that were designed, where it says, let us create man in our image and after our likeness. For what purpose? To be a slave, to work on the plantation known as the Garden of Eden, okay, to be a caretaker of the land, okay. So that it's a lot of information to this. You might want to go back and watch some previous videos and actually join, because we take them down and we have an archive inside the members area. But let's just go into these signs of these particular being an angel, having angelic genes. Our genes control our nature. They control our phenotype, which is how we look. And they control, how we respond, and they also have a big part in why we go through things the way we do here on this planet. Now, the first sign of being an extraterrestrial or angel, or having extraterrestrial genes or angelic genes, is bad luck. Oftentimes, you have bad luck because you are constantly under attack. You may not know who you are, but the enemy knows you, and they see you, and you stand out like a sore thumb. You stand out like a candle in the midst of darkness. So they are attracted to you to extinguish that light. Because if that light is to spread, it'll raise the frequency of this planet, and they will not be able to feed. Okay, parasites won't be able to feed because they can only feed off of lower chakra energy. You see? And we go into that in the Kundalini Home Study course in that boot camp about that whole thing. The second one is you feel out of place. You don't feel like you belong here. You feel like an alien. You feel like there's something really wrong with this world, and you feel like I'm in the wrong spot. You ever get off at the wrong train stop? You ever take the wrong place and things look strange and people are a little peculiar? Well, that's how people feel when they are the children of the angelic beings. You feel out of place. Okay? So if you constantly feel out of place, like there's something wrong with this world, it's a strong chance that you have angelic genes. Number 3, the system of controls and the societal matrix, the programmings that we go through, it really impacts you harder, and you become more or less like a rebel. You rebel against a lot of the social programs, because a lot of social programs, not all of them are necessarily bad, you see, but they come to a place where it stagnates you when it goes beyond just basic hygiene and respect for your elders. All of that is social program as well, correct? But when it goes to the extent of having you thinking inside this box, this is where religion comes in. You buck that. You're a rebel to religion. If you're a rebel to religion, you most likely are an angelic being. Absolutely. It doesn't make sense to you. You're attracted to the spirituality of it, but the indoctrination is repulsive. It's like, that does not make sense to me. There's got to be something more, preacher. There's got to be something more to that story. That's your angelic genes. So that's number 3. Number 4, you're interested in the stars. You find yourself stargazing. You find yourself wanting to buy a telescope. When I was a child, I was infatuated with space travel. I had pictures of the space shuttle. I used to write to the astronauts. You know, I wanted to be an astronaut, you see. I had, a telescope, so many telescopes. You see, trying to find out what's out there. Always infatuated with the stars. Laying out on the grass, back on Long Island, laying out on the grass and just looking at the stars. Even upstate New York, when we used to go to the Mount Zion and so forth, we used to see ships all the time. We would just look at the ships and things of that nature. So you're infatuated with the stars. Some of it plays out in the distraction of astrology and that particular thing. So that's still an outgrowth of your infatuation with the stars. And also UFOs. Many of you who want to come to this boot camp, cosmic ascension and cosmic genetic pathways, that sends off red flags. That's like, wow, what is that? What is that? I'm interested in that. Other people are like, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? He's weird or she's strange. They're kind of peculiar. Okay? Yes, absolutely, because they're not from this world. All right? Next is number 5, is spontaneous knowing. You get into conversations sometimes and you just start really divulging information that's like, wow, profound information. My children do it all the time. I have children, my sons will just say something, my wife will be cooking, they'll just say something, and it's like, did you just hear that? That was profound. They just spontaneously know. The doorbell rings, they already know who's at the door. You see, information just comes through them. Especially when you're in a cipher, what we call a cipher, when there's a group of people that's all on a certain frequency, and you start to build, what you call build on information. Now you open up portals in your mind and you get downloads of information. This is what happens at the events. It takes a cipher and a building session to a whole different level, because we're going to have dozens of people there. And the information that comes down, it doesn't just come down through Nazir Ra. The Most High chooses whom he chooses to dispense information. It could come through anybody. It could come. This is why it's so powerful. So spontaneous knowing, that's intuition, that deals with the faculty of the spirit known as Tahuti. Tahuti is Thoth, where you get the word thought, and the Kemetic word, which is Tahuti, is where you get intuition. You just know. Number 6, you're attracted to spirituality. You're attracted to the occult. You're attracted to metaphysics and things dealing with consciousness and the mind. Okay, a lot of ways, this is a lot of psychology. Because the universe is all mental. This is all in the mind. If you want to get deep, it's all in the mind. You see? Creation happens because you exist. If you didn't exist, nothing exists. The end of the world happens when you die. Forget all the other stuff. When you die, the world is over, because we all live in our own universe. See? That's what we deal with. Get the book, The Hidden Self. We break that down. That's more or less like the blueprint of metaphysics. Okay, that's going a little ahead of ourselves. But you're attracted to those things. That's deep to you. You're interested in that. The football game, the Beyonce video, all of that stuff is whatever, but you're interested in spirituality. That's because you're of the angelic line, the bloodline. Okay? And finally, number 7, you're often lonely. You're often lonely and misunderstood. It's like, nobody really understands me. I'm like an outcast. People consider me weird. We get a lot of videos from people who want to come to the boot camp for free. It's a contest, by the way. And we hear it all the time. I finally realized that I'm not crazy. People try to make you feel like you're crazy, or you feel like you're crazy for seeing things the way other people cannot see it. You can all be sitting there listening to the same, sermon. And you have a question that's just profound. No one can even grasp the fact of even having that question. See? Or that insight. That's your angelic genes. And it becomes a level of sadness because it's lonely. Being on this frequency can be lonely when you don't have anybody to share this information with. You don't have anybody really to commune with and to what you call fellowship with, like they say in the church, on a higher level. So it's lonely. and it can be saddening, and it can lead to depression. This is why I say get around the company of the righteous. All of the scriptures talk about it, the Quran, the Bible. The children of Israel, they all lived amongst each other. Okay, this is where you get your protection. This is where you get your ascension as well, because when you come together with like-minded people, everybody's frequency rises. It becomes exponential. Iron sharpens iron. So that is very, very profound within itself. So we thank everybody for tuning in and coming on out to the event. All of the people that are coming out, we're pretty much full, like 99% full, maybe 95. But these angelic genes are very profound, and we'll go a little further ahead into the details of it, because it's more than just the genes. We have Tov and Ra. Tov is Hebrew for